We stood around Yagamu as he recovered from his paralysis enough to talk. He kept his cool throughout, maintaining the same composure he always did. I can hardly believe this was your doing, Sir Yagamu. I may have broken Rashomanic bread with you, but I have no sympathy to spare. I shall avenge my fallen comrades. The holy Jumanji sword shall have your head. Calm down, Kyoshika. We can't jump straight to beheadings. Why did you do this? What possible reason could you have? Say something, Yagamu. No, you're not hurt that bad. Apologies. I was just trying to figure out where to start.
Oh.
Let me lead by saying, I haven't killed anyone. Huh? Are you playing games, dude? What kind of idiot would believe that? Gaku's right. If that's true, why are you dressed like that? Why do you have the power saw? Let me start from the beginning. I'll explain everything, so hear me out. Fine. Well, listen. But you're on thin ice! The killer first appeared on day 16. Well, maybe it was already day 17 by then. It was late at night in the bio lab.
Oh.
Takumi said he saw Hiriko get cornered by the killer there.
Huh?
That's right. Then we got into a struggle. In the end, they got away, but I managed to recover their weapon and the suit. I was with Gaku and Kyoshika during that time. Huh? You were? I was right here in the rec room on the night of day 16. You and Gaku invited me. Oh yeah, I forgot about that! What were the three of you doing that late at night?
Oh.
Gaku said he found an adult video in the storeroom and wanted to have a watch party. Ah, don't snitch on me, dude! It turned out it was just footage of cute critters. Not an adult video, but an animal video. Yes, they were precious little furballs, although Sir Gaku seemed very disappointed. Okay, can we just move on with the story? Anyway, I was here in the rec room. We had headphones on, so we didn't notice any noise. Isn't that right, guys? Gaku and Kyoshika nodded. It seemed like Yagamu was telling the truth so far. There's more. The next time the killer appeared was... Day 25, when Eva was killed inside her cage. Right. I had nothing to do with her murder. However... After seeing her dead body, the murderous impulses inside of me began to resurface. I didn't remember exactly when I'd heard it, but something Yagamu said in the cafeteria began to replay in my head. But I can't help it, man. Ever since I saw her dismembered body, my passion's been at a fever pitch. That's the kind of loving killing I've been craving all my life. Not being able to do it myself has got me climbing the walls. I can't keep going like this.
If you can't help me out, I really might have to kill someone.
Rife with overwhelming lust, I tried to find an outlet for my feverish mania. I believe it was day 38 when I finally found my solution. When I was just about to kill Gaku. What? You were seriously gonna kill me?
Huh?
Yeah, I was seconds away from going through with it. I had a lot of pent-up bloodlust.
Huh?
But the moment I saw the fear of death in his eyes, I noticed my dark desire was temporarily sated. Oh, this guy's a freak! Now that I think about it, he mentioned this in a conversation we had with Emma. After what happened with Gaku, I finally figured out a way to suppress them better.
Huh?
I don't actually have to kill anyone. I just have to see the look of despair when they stare death in the face. It's not exactly a long-term solution, but more like a coping mechanism. The only problem is that no one seems to want to show me their seconds before death face. What about day 43 when Mocha was killed? What were you doing then? I was in my room. I couldn't sleep that night because of the bloodlust festering deep inside of me.
Oh.
Then I heard Nozomi's shrieks and the sound of glass breaking, so I went to see what was going on. When I did, I found the killer's suit and power saw at the bottom of the pool. Huh. The stuff missing from the locker was in the pool. Why? Sir Yagamu must have stolen it, correct? No, I didn't know the combination. Right, you weren't even in the room when Takumi set the code. Wait, I was chased by the killer the day Mocha was killed. They had me cornered by the pool, so I shoved them aside and got away, but maybe when that happened they fell in? I see. You might be right, but I wasn't concerned about the details. I had other things on my mind at the time, like taking the killer's things so I could dress up like them. Surely you're not telling us you pretended to be the killer just so you could see looks of despair and fulfill your desires? Sorry, I just couldn't hold back the urges inside of me. But I really wasn't going to kill anyone. Just seeing your faces twisted up in despair was enough to satisfy me. Nothing you're saying makes any sense. What was your involvement in the murders of Takamaru, Karara, and Shuma? I had nothing to do with Takamaru's death on day 51. I swear it. The first day I dressed up as the killer was day 64. The day Karara was killed. We were on guard duty that night, right? You fell asleep, so I went with Karara to the bathroom. I sensed the two of you were going to leave, so I pretended to sleep. I figured it would be my chance to enjoy the thrill of the chase. I quickly put on the suit I had hid in my room and chased you with the power saw. Huh? So you were the one chasing me in the hallway? That's right, I chased you like the killer would. And once I had you cornered in front of the defense room.
I finally got to see your terrified expression, filled with despair. My lust was sated. Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Once I had my fill, I hid the suit and power saw in my room and went back to the gym. That's all I know. So you really know nothing about Lady Kurara's death. Speak the truth, or prepare to become rust on the blade of the holy Jumanji sword. I'm sorry, but I had nothing to do with her murder. I can't tell you anything. I had nothing to do with Shuma's death on day 77 either. Keep talking. What about Terumi on day 80? Or the twins on day 83? When the fire started in that vaulting box, everyone scattered ran away from the gym. I smelled an opportunity. You're kidding. You took advantage of the chaos to masquerade as the killer? Correct. I went back to my room, got the suit and power saw, and pretended to be the killer for a second time. I went inside and found Terumi and Takumi immediately. I felt bad knowing it would be my second time doing it to you, but you put on such a good performance the first time. I couldn't resist the chance to see you like that again. Seeing the enraptured look on Yagami's face, I was at a complete loss for words. For so many reasons. Halfway through the chase, I told Terumi to run. I lured the killer, you, into chasing me alone. I managed to lose you somehow, then hid out in my room until the next morning, but Darumi... I don't know what happened after Darumi got away. Once I lost sight of you, Takumi, I gave up. I went back to my room, changed, and met up with everybody else. Right, the life sign count was 11 when Yagami joined us. So Darumi was still alive at that point. And I had nothing to do with Ima and Kako either. I didn't do a thing to them. Is that everything? You're not hiding anything else? Scout's honor. You might not believe me, but I really didn't kill anyone.
You don't seriously think we're okay with what you did, do you?
I'm aware I crossed a line, but I couldn't stop myself. Those looks of terror and despair whenever I chased you, I needed them so badly. That's why I kept this from you guys. No other reason, I promise.
You say that, but I feel betrayed. I'm not going to be able to forgive you and move on that easily.
I'll accept any punishment you want to give. Torture me. Whatever you need to do.
But if it wasn't Yagami who killed our friends, then who's the real killer?
Suddenly the image of the killer on day 16 crossed my mind. Were they still hiding inside the school? No. That wouldn't add up with the life sign count. Then what? Where are they?
I'm getting rather lost. What are we doing with Sir Yagami?
I think we're going to have to keep him separated from the group until we find the real killer.
Oh.
Of course. That should help with my little problem.
How would we use that weird room on the first floor? We can lock it from the outside.
The room with the strange devices from when we were at Kamakura General Hospital? That might be the perfect place to lock Yagami up.
Hey, mind if I take the power saw and the suit he was hiding? I'll take them to someplace where nobody can find them.
Where's the proof that you're innocent?
I don't have any, but the same goes for everybody here. Trust me, I know I'll be under suspicion if somebody else gets attacked.
Fine, you can deal with them, Gaku. We'll take care of Yagami.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
We handed the power saw and suit over to Gaku, then took Yagami to the strange room. We put him inside and locked it securely from the outside. Nozomi would be the one in charge of the key. After that, we went back to the roof and met up with Gaku when he'd finished his task. We made sure everything had gone according to plan, then decided to call it a day. Nobody was any the wiser? What? Nobody was any the wiser, huh? That is not a good line of narration. Oh no. Because that phrase, you only say that when you have gotten away with something. And that is internal monologue. But a shocking development was waiting for us right around the corner. Hold up. Wait a minute. Chat. These lines, these sorts of lines of like, ooh, little did we know something was going to happen. I thought they were POV breaks, right? If you're unfamiliar, so when you're writing in like prose or something, then point of view is like the perspective that the writing is from. Like normally you pick a specific character, typically like the protagonist, and they're your point of view of a character, and like everything in theory is written from their perspective, right? So you only write things that they know. So in theory, these like little did we know that something was about to happen are POV breaks because the character that is your POV character does not know that something was going to happen in the future. when something happens. However, if, and I'm trying to remember what the context was of all these, I think most of them have to do with the killer showing up. If they all have to do with the killer showing up, then it's not a POV break. If I'm the killer. And I'm just basically thinking of what my future plans are. If that, oh my goodness, if that is what's happening. That is clever writing if that's what's going on. Day 90.
Up and Atom troops, time to rise and shine! Wowee! It's your 90th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy! The time humanity has longed for is almost upon us! We're really in the home stretch now! It's been a long and arduous road. But since you've made it this far, I just know you're gonna be fine! In 10 days, you'll have your happy ending, and all of you will become the heroes who saved humanity! Well then, everyone work hard together and keep those spirits up!
A happy ending. Happiness stopped being an option a long time ago. Anyway, I guess I should head over to the cafeteria. I need to give Yagami some food too. The only people in the cafeteria were Nozomi, Haruko, and Kiyoshika. Good morning, Takumi. Morning. No sign of Tsubasa or Gaku? They might be holed up in their rooms out of paranoia. Maybe, but I hope not. We still haven't worked out our strategy for Jaja. There's so much to think about that my brain feels like it's going to boil over. Neither of them were wearing their regular clothes. The same one for me. We had a little discussion before going our separate ways yesterday. At the end of it, we decided to wear our class armor, or artificial class armor in Nozomi's case, all day from now on. If everything Yagami told us was the truth, the killer was still out there somewhere. If they're not even showing up in the life sign total, they might even be... Before I could finish that thought, I heard footsteps outside in the hall. Tsubasa burst into the cafeteria, breathless, and with a grim look on her face. Here we go again. Tsubasa? What's got you in such a hurry? I just woke up and checked the life sign count. It's gone down to 6. Huh? The only ones missing were Gaku and Yagami, which meant... Let's search the school!
Oh?
We'll start with the nearby rooms. Everybody stick together. We systematically opened every door in the school, making sure nothing was out of place. No more. I'm sick of it. I've had enough despair for one lifetime. My heart was screaming with each door we opened, and then my prayers would go unanswered. Huh.
So it was Gaku.
Inside the library, we found the blood-soaked remains of Gaku Maruko, his body sliced to ribbons. An unpleasant stench of blood emanated from his mangled corpse.
The revival-matic.
Too late.
It's pointless. We're too late.
Slowly, the world turned gray. It felt like my emotions died with Gaku. If Gaku's been killed, that means Yagami's still alive. Let's make sure there's no sign he broke out of the room. We need to look for the power saw too. Sir Takumi, how are you so composed? Sir Gaku's been killed.
All the crying and screaming in the world couldn't bring him back. So there's no point.
Are you being serious right now? I'm not trying to sound heartless. I just want this to be over. Let's take him to the morgue. Help me out. Wait, before we do that. Look here. There's signs of a struggle. Urko pointed to a nearby bookshelf.
Oh?
This shelf is way out of position, and there's books on the ground. Someone must have moved it intentionally. Maybe Gaku bumped into it while he was fighting the killer. No, there's multiple gouge marks on the back of the shelf. That's not natural. What do you mean? It's highly likely that Gaku hid the power saw and suit here. He must have gotten in a fight over them with the killer, resulting in these gouges. I see. So that's why he was killed here. And the power saw and suit got taken again. Maybe someone here has them? You're suspecting us now? It wasn't me! Can you prove that your hands are clean before pointing fingers, Lady Tsubasa? Enough suspecting each other. It serves no purpose. Haruko and I lifted Gaku's body in the silence. The others came to help soon after, but no one felt like talking. After bringing Gaku to the morgue, we went to the room where Yagamu was locked up. Yagamu's eyes went wide upon hearing the news of Gaku's murder. Then he just stared down at the floor. There were no signs that he'd left the room, but our suspicion of one another was only growing. Our worst case scenario just keeps finding ways to get worse. And there's no stopping it now. Day 91.
Good morning, troops! Rise and shine! It's day 91 of your service here at Last Defense Academy! 9 days remain until the time humanity has longed for is upon us! I hate to keep reminding you, but the fate of all of humanity rests on the shoulders of the Special Defense Unit! So work well and work together for the sake of all of mankind!
I survived another night, I guess. I let out a deep sigh after making sure my heart was still beating. It wouldn't surprise me if I was the next victim. If they just kill me too. I was taken back by the words that left my lips. What was I saying? I need to switch gears. I'll go to the cafeteria. And it's just you, Haruko? Everybody's decided to eat in their rooms. Well, I figured this would happen. I assembled a light meal on my tray and sat in front of Haruko. We were silent. The only sound in the cafeteria was the quiet clatter of our dishes. Then Haruko calmly looked me in the eye.
I've been killed. Many times, actually.
What? Huh?
What?
Like, but that is no way to start a conversation. I mean, come on. I just sat down to eat.
Would it make more sense if I told you that I lived through a different past? Similar to how you time traveled from yours?
Hey guys, theory confirmed! Theory confirmed! We figured it out. Like, I was speculating this last time. But, okay.
Hold on. This is a lot out of nowhere.
You know what? I wonder. Maybe. Okay, so I've got the time travel thing where like I can like go back in the past whenever I want. I wonder if she has more of like a respawn sort of feature, where like every time she dies, she like starts over from a given point. Haruko experienced something like I did. It was all so sudden that I couldn't follow. She didn't seem to be joking, but
Uh-huh.
I remember everything of the past I saw. Not that it's a pleasant memory. Is that what you've been hiding?
Mm-hmm.
The memories came to me on day 3.
Oh?
I was killed, and I remember what I said at the end, clear as day.
This was another failed timeline. Just like the others. Maybe it was a mistake for us to stay in this school to begin with. Maybe we all should have left. I'm going to do it over again. As many times as it takes. I'll bring an end to all of these horrific histories.
Man, Haruko and I are really in the same boat here, aren't we?
I'll do it someday. Mark my words.
Okay, although it actually... Okay, this is actually really weird, though, because... Okay, so if... Like, I can understand me time traveling back to the past repeatedly. Okay, I can understand that. But if she's also in, like, different timelines... So I can just, whenever I want to travel back to the past. Great. She seems to travel back to the past if she dies? So, okay, how does that work, though? Like, in terms of, like, the space-time continuum of, like... Basically, my question is, when I travel back to the past, which version am I meeting of her? Like, am I traveling back to the same one, or are we both, like, traveling back and meeting each other at from different timelines? Huh? Like, if you thought trying to travel for one person was weird, add the second person to the mix, and it just doesn't make sense. Okay. I mean, okay, so I'm almost certain, very first timeline, she had to have already experienced the timeline, right? Because she was way too knowledgeable to have not already experienced at least one timeline. And I guess the question is, does she continue experiencing more and more timelines over time? Obviously, I think from a gameplay perspective, it's the same. Though, actually, that could be a good excuse for, like, extra divergence, honestly. Of, like, oh, why is this branch a little more different than just your choices would suspect? Because this is a slightly different Haruko with a slightly different set of experiences that's going to behave slightly differently. Huh. That is an interesting twist. The double time travelers going back in time.
You've been repeating the past.